Hey there, in today's video I'm going to review the North Face Summit Series Vectiv Pro Trail. I'm going to show some clips of me running around in them, then I'm going to put them on the turntable and look at their specifications, then I'm going to review them, and finally I'm going to see if I can recommend them. I'm making this video because I'm running the Jack and Jill Marathon in a couple of weeks in the United States and has a lot of gravel on the trail, and I wanted to get a shoe that was appropriate to that. I have the first version of the shoe and there are lots of significant improvements in the latest version, so I wanted to get it and see if it's suitable for the marathon. As always, there are chapter markers down below so you can skip on through to the bits you might be interested in. Let's get going. I tested the shoe by walking around the city for a couple of kilometers to bed the shoe in. Then I went to rural County Carlow near Munavyug, where I ran along, did a river run. It was a very beautiful day to go out running. I ran a sort of half marathon on a variety of surfaces. I'll show some clips here, but I sort of ran on boardwalk. I ran on some grassy surfaces, some hardback clay, some gravel, and of course some roads, all to try and get an idea of the shoe on different surfaces. Let's put the shoes on the turntable and look at their specifications. The North Face say that the shoe weighs 287 grams, 10.12 ounces. This shoe is a US 13, EU 47, UK 12, CEM 31. In this size it weighs in the left shoe 327 grams or 11.53 ounces, and in the right shoe 328 grams, 11.57 ounces. It has a 32mm stack height, it has a 6mm drop. The North Face say this about the Summit Series Vectiv Pro Trail. Part of our pinnacle boundary pushing Summit Series, the Vectiv Pro Trail running shoes feature our newest foam technology and a Vectiv 2.0 carbon fiber plate for exceptional stability and energy output on technical terrain. The internal heel supports offer a closer fit, while breathable mesh uppers provide all the comfort you need when chasing your new PR. With more cushioning than ever before, feet will be supported on even the most rugged ground. Let's review the shoe and see if what the North Face says is true. The upper of the shoe is much changed from the previous version. The first thing is the North Face have concentrated a lot of time and effort on the ease into the shoe. The previous shoe had a booty construction, a bit like the Alpha Fly. It's very hard to get on, but at the same time, once it's on, it stays on. The new shoe, they've designed it really to be much easier to put on. The Achilles, it comes up high on the heel, but it folds down very easily, very easy to get into, and the entryway is really super easy to get into. They've also made the front much more breathable. I'll stick a light in it and you'll see it shine through, and you can actually see, if I wear them without socks, you can see my feet clearly through them. But they've put a lot of time and the upper is very much improved. The shoe has a 32mm stack and a 6mm drop, and I think that's well judged for the type of marathon I want to run. Very slightly downhill, a lot of trail, and I want it to be nimble, not high stack, and I like it to be steady. The carbon plate, usually on a shoe, it's sort of down in the middle of the midsole, but hard to know in this one without sewing it apart, which I'll do at some stage. I'm not looking forward to that. Some shoes I am, not with these ones because I really like these ones, but I do want to find out what's happening with this plate. Is this poking up or sticking down? Because it's also sticking up here, and there's a piece at the back of the heels with a forked section in it, and that will provide a little bit of extra protection against the gravel or rocks. So yeah, I think that is an interesting use of the plate. There's a much more pronounced rocker shape in this shoe than its earlier version, and something I am really interested in, one of the reasons that I want to run a shoe such as this, is there aren't any holes down in the outsole. So it's not going to pick up gravel as I go along, as I might in a lot of other shoes. I'm thinking of the Vaporfly 3. Lots of shoes have, and certainly a lot of on shoes, have that sort of gravel catching profile down in the shoe, which I don't want on this marathon. I don't want to be stopping to picking out gravel. And of course, the other thing is some of my shoes, such as the Asics Metaspeed Sky Plus, have less durable outsole and take a bit of beating, and probably fairly worn out by the end of a marathon such as this with gravel. I've criticized many things about this shoe, but the one thing that makes this shoe better and why I stuck with it, why it's better than any other shoe I have, is the grip on the outsole. And again, they haven't changed it. It's a surface control grip with, that's their trademark name, 3.5mm lugs. Best grip of any shoe I have, particularly in the wet. And yeah, it's a shoe just for that. It's a shoe I'd always want to have around. In terms of weight, well, it's a trail shoe and you expect it to be heavier than its regular road running carbon plate competitors. This is 327 grams, 11.53 ounces. That compares with the Vaporfly 2, which is 242 grams or 8.54 ounces in this size, which is UK 12, US 13 and EU 47. Big thing is it's wider than its predecessor. The predecessor, I would come back feeling very sore from runs. The sole is a bit more firm in the earlier version, but it's also much narrower in the midsole, which is the one thing I react badly against in a shoe. They talk about it in their promotional material. They say this is a size D width, but you can certainly see the increased width, you can measure it, and thankfully you can feel it. All for the good. I never liked the design of this shoe. It's probably the ugliest shoe I've ever run in. It looks like nobody designed it, they just threw materials at it. This, on the other hand, has a bit more aesthetic appeal. I like the colorway that is in this one, the use of the graphics, etc. This is the Bluebird and Set Sail. There's also an LED yellow, very bright yellow, with the North Face black. I don't know what the difference between the North Face black and any other black is, but it's black. And then there's the North Face white and optic blue. It's actually a nice colorway. So yeah, it comes in a range of colors and it's visually much more appealing than a previous version. I enjoy the running feel of the shoe. I like the energy return of a carbon plate, particularly for longer runs, and there's more comfort in this shoe in terms of the upper and also the sole than its previous one, which was a bit on the hard riding side. The use case for this shoe is really trail running and or road trail running. It's good on the road and certainly in the wet it offers great grip, but that's pretty much the use case. And long distance, the additional foam and all that suits the marathon distance for me. The shoe costs €250, 250 US dollars, 225 pounds sterling or 420 Australian dollars. Certainly the 250 bucks is pretty much the going rate for carbon fiber plate shoes in most running ranges. I think the Alphafly is more expensive, as is the new Cloudboom Echo 3 on at roughly 300 bucks. But yeah, this is pretty much on the money. The North Face also have a shoe called the Summit Vector Sky, which is about 50 bucks cheaper. I considered that shoe. It has less foam and less weight, and obviously less cost. And I think if the distance was shorter, that would be a better choice, say a 5K, 10K, that sort of distance. But over marathon, yeah, I'll take the plushness of this. Should you buy the North Face Summit Series Vectiv Pro Trail? Well, I think you should definitely shortlist it if you're running a marathon on anything other than smooth pavement or road surface. The Sky Trail is lighter, but I wanted more protection in this. Nike are bringing out a Zoom X Trail Fly towards the end of this month. It's not available yet. Would make a really good comparison with this shoe. But yeah, a lot of times manufacturers, they make a shoe and then they make the next version, which is largely not improved or something tiny. They totally overhauled this shoe and made it better in every area where it was weak and kept all the strong points. So chapeau to the North Face. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, it would be great if you hit the like button. As always, there'll be lots of stuff in the description below and I'll happily answer any questions you put into the comments. There'll be a big blue subscribe button popping up there and some red videos there. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, just keep running along.